Okay. So the topic is about winter depression, and I think all of you would be quite understanding what it is. I was not so much able to understand what is winter depression when I first time came to Europe. Many people used to come there in India in our institutions, and they used to say that we are here in India to feel some sun or get some sun. And I never used to understand what does that mean. But of course, the third year when I came here after the second or third year, yes, till then I think my brain was having enough of the brain chemicals to keep me okay. And second or third year, I started feeling something weird after uh, the wind during the winter season or that time. So then this topic which we read in our studies, or rather we used to hear from the patients who used to come for Ayurvedic treatments, and I understood what does that mean. So yes, as you can understand, so the people in India, we don't experience it, but of course you experience it here because of lack of sun. So some expressions, so it is related to the changes of the season, and it is some amount of adult populations. Most of the time, it is undiagnosed, or rather, we call it as winter blues. Rather, let's say winter blue and winter depression. It's bit different, or rather more different, because winter blue, you can be take it as little bit lighter case of condition. Let's say you feel a little bit sad about the things after you had good vacations. The change, the difference between the summer and winter, you are feeling it. But rather, you will be able to overcome it quite fast. So, but winter depression is something which needs to be addressed, or rather needs to be is a kind of bit more of clinical condition. And many times this is more women are affected. Out of this population, women are more affected. Maybe you can explain it in terms of why it is like this, because you people have more females have more hormonal changes, and they undergo these uh, mm, cycles every month, and perhaps that is the reason. And in general, you can say it may mostly start in fall. When autumn starts, um, the things become slowly dark. The sunlight becomes a little bit dull, and slowly it will continue towards the winter as it is more and more prevalent. So yes, the rains, the short days, long nights, the darker atmosphere, um, and then later the snow and such conditions. Yes. What are the kind of symptoms usually you feel? It's basically as it is saying, seasonal affecting disorder. It's sad. You feel some sort of sadness or depressed feeling or dullness, and feeling of loneliness. It can be related to lack of your how you say possibilities to socialize, because during these summer days you really had time to go out and have participation to participate in various activities. So now you feel more segregated, as the hormones, also the neurotransmitters, neurochemicals also play a part. Lack of energy and motivation and drive, again, um, you can correlate to lack of serotonin, these two um, symptoms. Loss of interest in socialization, again, it is more like dullness, tiredness, oversleeping. Like the climate is suitable for hibernation. So during the daytime, you will have a kind of light from production of melatonin, and that is connected with the sleep, and you feel dull through the day, and serotonin levels are low, and you don't feel that awakeness or full of energy, which is characteristic of the brain chemical called serotonin. And by the way, melatonin secretion at night is also less, so your sleep also is not so good. You can say sometimes it is disrupted many nights, sometimes some nights. Um, so it is basically the balance of secretion of melatonin is disturbed. Rather, we can say like this: the rhythm, the balance. Yes, changes in appetite and weight gain. Of course, you crave for comforting food. This is again because of lack of to feel good dopamine. You eat sweets or such stuff makes you feel comforted, the brain comforting. Concentration problems and lack of perspective and hope and worrying about the future. So somehow we all get kind of a bit of lack of hope, or the darkness make us to forget about the kind of nice summer we had, those memories, those days. Yes. What are the causes? So we a few things I already discussed, but still I may be repeating the same things during the slides, so kindly cooperate. Biological clock. We all have this circadian clock. It is connected to our. It is there in our central nervous system. It is the, we can say we have a clock called CNS, that is suprachiasmatic nuclei. Um, so there, the kind of the signals you get, yeah, sorry, SCN, sorry, SCN, uh, suprachiasmatic nucleus. So I said the right this thing, but abbreviation was wrong. So it's there in our brain cortex, below the brain cortex, and this thing is the kind of central control of this clock. And then we have peripheral clocks in different organs. So what does it mean is the central clock is influenced with the sunlight, and peripheral clocks are influenced by our activities. Let's say activities like rest and activity, feeding time, eating time, body temperature, all these things. So and also hormones are also interconnected. The nervous system and the endocrine system and the nervous system is also very much connected. So for example, if you are very much eating late night food, like let's say feeding time is too late, probably you will have difficulties to fall asleep. One reason maybe, if you again consume alcohol or you eat more non-vegetarian food at night, body temperature keeps up because of the basal metabolism is bit more higher, and you feel more hot. The body temperature is not cooling down, and body temperature is not dropping down, and then you may have difficulties to sleep. So what we eat, how we do activities, and what time we do how we keep regularity with the clock. That means the routines. That's the word. That's why Ayurveda emphasizes on routines. How perfectly we maintain these the clock, by maintaining the routines, and different routines very much in a kind of rather in a kind of intelligent way, or more carefully, decides decides how good you feel during this season. So so yes. So going back to my first slide, yes, from first slide I have to slide down to long down to there. Yes. So I explained this biological clock. So here, is there more people to join? No, nobody else. Okay. Moment. So the neurotransmitters. So I was talking about this neurotransmitter, serotonin and dopamine. This this neurotransmitters goes down. The level of neurotransmitters goes down. Because of lack of sunlight, the serotonin production is reduced. Dopamine is something which is more like, you can say, mm, the the hormone or the neurotransmitter, the chemical which is being secreted in our brain as a reward. As a reward means whatever activities we do, like running a marathon, or when you achieve something. Yes. Um, so activity is low, sunlight is low. So both influences the neurotransmitters. Low level of melatonin at night, but there is a slight secretion during the day. So we feel sleepy during the day and we don't feel more energetic. Low vitamin D. So vitamin D, we know that it is very much necessary for our different types of activities. Let's say hormonal activities like production of various hormones, the neuro activities, nerve related activities. Vitamin D is very, very important for our well-being, mental well-being as well. It causes fatigue and feeling of depression. When sunlight enters the eyes, that it activates. So how the biological clock works? It activates neurotransmitters and serotonin and dopamine. It produces. Reduced sunlight can drop the serotonin and dopamine and vitamin D level. This disruption of the body's internal clock leads to feeling of sadness, lack of energy, and sleep disturbances. Here you also, I have added one more rather Ayurvedic point of view. You have poor digestive fire, and there is more creation of toxins. Somehow our detoxification process is a bit sluggish. Let's say lymphatic system, circulatory system. Maybe we are less active, and that causes it. Agni is also the fire. This is digestive fire, means here it implies all the digestive and metabolic activities of the body. Fire, which represents in Ayurveda the five element, one of the five element, and we correlate this to Agni. Agni is Sanskrit name of fire, and this is can be this again can be correlated to the digestive and metabolic system. So when digestion and metabolism is also disrupted, it can be also these the kind of changes in our brain chemistry can be also one of the reason digestion is not so good. And meanwhile, when the digestion is not so good, the metabolism also slows down. Yes. So vitamin D deficiency. Individuals living in higher altitude has less sun exposure, more susceptible to vitamin D deficiency. So people who are having vitamin D deficiency, they have problems more. Um, some psychological factors I told already a bit. Stresses because of the changing of the season, the holiday season changes to the winter season, which is a little bit sad. Negative thought patterns. So individuals with uh, these situations, which may develop negative thought patterns related to the change of season, such as anticipating more of depressive situations and feeling hopelessness about the future. These things are, let's say, more predominant, or rather, the people who already have a little bit of predisposition to depression or anxiety, they have more chances, of course, to get seasonal depression. Um, Social isolation, this we already discussed. There is less social interaction and outdoor activities, which is increasing isolation and loneliness. So before I go through more of the slides and some of very fundamental um, words in Ayurveda, we will say, but rather it is a philosophy, or rather it is it's a principle of Ayurveda. Let's say five elemental theory and three dosha theory, or rather Panchamahabhuta theory and three doshas. It's very difficult to translate the five energies. They say five um, balancing energies, people call it as roughly. But anyway, everybody has these principles. Let's say you cannot see them, but rather it exists in our functional physiology, functional actions like physiology. We could correlate it to different um, characteristics. This is the characteristics means gunas, we say. Guna means characters, qualities, we say. So the fundamentally Ayurveda says we have always, we are connected to nature. Yes, we have a small nature inside us. We are created from the elements which is there in the nature. We are basically panchabaudik. That's why people say what you eat, you become, or whatever is uh, coming inside, coming from outside, constitute our mm, nature, let's say. So here there are five elements in our body. They are basically space, air, fire, water, and earth. So space represents the kind of mm, emptiness rather, but at the same time it represents the kind of possibility to accommodate everything. We have a space in our body, inside our lungs, abdominal cavity, and everywhere, where the air goes inside the lungs. So, and fire represents the kind of air represents the kind of the gaseous state of matter. Let's say the exchanges of gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and all these things are happening in our body. Um, So we have air elements, so gaseous elements also present in our body. So we inhale the air, oxygen, and we take it to the blood. And then in the cells, when the carbon dioxide is being excreted, it is being sent back to the blood, and then it is being taken away by the lungs. So this is happening in every day. So we call space and air together as vata. So vata is more like representing the kinetic energy. So five elements represents the structural things. But when it, you compared when you think about the um, just a moment. Yes. So next time, if anybody want to, no, nobody, I cannot see anyone. Okay, there is nobody else. Somebody messaged me. Okay, sorry. Um, so here, now you were talking about the vata. Yes, vata, the kinetic energy, the kind of movement. So five elements represent the structure, but that structure doesn't have any mobility. When these elements interact with each other in our body, they create the kind of energy or movement or the kind of changes, the kind of uh, they keep changing. Yes, so they have like interactions. Let's say interactions. So it represents so the vata represents the kinetic energy or movement, central nervous system, circulation of the blood, controls elimination of waste, responsible for movements, let's say even childbirth. When it is balanced, it is fostering enthusiasm, creativity, and positivity. The third one is fire. Fire is like the kinetic potential energy, let's say, for um, the kind of transformative energy, you can say. um, you know that the transformation happens in our body in the form of digestion and metabolism, and we have this fire existing in our body in the form of enzymes and hormones, let's say. um, um, yes, so it represents the transformative um, principle. It exists in nature, in our body. It is existing as more of enzymes and hormones, which does the metabolism, which does the digestion, all these things. Transformation. So pitta is that what we call as the dosha, which is creating, doing this transformation of food and ideas. Even brain, in the brain, when the ideas are processed. Let's say neurotransmitters, as in you can correlate roughly to pitta activity. Even there is some processes, some changes, transformations happening, responsible for visual perception, analytical thoughts, so which is present in the eyes. When it is balanced, it creates a sense of confidence and ambition and decisiveness. So, yes. And kapha, it is more representing water and earth element. They are the other two. So, water, I didn't say anything about the water, the fifth element, sorry, fourth element. um, so water, it's just it represents the kind of liquid state of matter. All earth is having the maximum uh, water element in our all through, and that's why we have existence of life. That's what in other places, when they go through the by the space, they first look for water if there is a presence of life, for the presence of life. So in our body also, it is almost proportional. The earth is constituted how much percentage, the same way, about 70% or more. We have water element in our body, like blood and everything. So water and fire combine together to form the pitta. So yeah. So next is kapha. This is more like representing the potential energy, stability, source of immunity, lubrication, and supports and holding emotions and nurturing, compassionate behavior, loving, adhesiveness, you can say. It's more like water and earth element together. Imagine earth element represents the kind of solid state of matter. So all the kind of elements which are solid in nature, you can represent through the earth element. And water and earth combined together. Imagine if you are building a kind of house with the mud and water, like clay modeling. The children does this construction in different. I mean, here I have not seen so much, but in India we used to make. So to make any structure, it is possible if you mix the earth element and water element. So it represents a kind of structural entity. So just an introduction, rather, because yes, one of the reason why I do the seminars is also to um, make you people more interested to see what is this Ayurvedic Ayurvedic words are about. So yeah, coming back to the topic, yes, Vata imbalance happens during the winter time. So winter is more aligned with the qualities of Vata. Not really only not only really Vata, I would say. The first phase of winter, let's say, from the time. So imagine body is changing because the earth is changing. Day to day basis, everything is changing. So day to day basis, the climate is changing, the temperature is changing. So when the temperature and elements are changing in the earth or the universe, then body also changes. So there is mm, the percentage of the percentage of water in the environment was different yesterday. Today it's different. It can change time to time. So um, that's what I mean. First, begin the end part of uh, um, fall or the autumn season. You could take from there till beginning of winter season. It's more vata predominant. So where there is cold and dry and erratic qualities. Erratic means there is up and down. You can see dryness. You can see in the environment because of the coldness. There is a lot of dryness. This dryness is also present in the big end part of the autumn season. That's why the leaves becomes dry and it falls down. And erratic quality is more in the autumn season, and autumn season more, rather than the real winter. Yes, now there is no real winter. If you call it every day, there is, maybe because of the global warming or whatever, there is erratic changes in the weather. There is very it's very difficult to define. It is clearly winter, clearly borderline. The autumn is finished, and there are rains suddenly, and there is again frozen type of environment. So there is changes happening. So Vata is concerned. Just keep in mind, Vata is more when there is cold, dry, and erratic qualities around. Erratic means up and down, and also there is bit of kapha predominant characteristics. This is representing the sluggishness. You told this, I told you, explained you, this dosha is more representing the static characters. So the stasis is also one of the characteristic of um, winter season. When in the beginning of the end of the autumn and the beginning of winter, when there is a lot of wind and there is a lot of movement of air, and there is cold dry properties, that is more connected to vata. So that wind has a coldness, and then there is icing, like frozen characters. So that is also a coldness. So air is cold, water is cold. So when the air, the change of qualities, elemental presence in the environment changes from air to um, mm, water, presence of water more, and that too in a more solidified state, that is earth element. So that is more predominant with kapha. So late part of some winter is more kapha, you can say, or complete. If it is a pure winter, if it is completely becoming like a frozen environment, it's more kapha predominant as well. So you will see stasis also in our body. So because of the vata imbalances during the winter, there is cold, dry characteristics, and season can exacerbate the vata dosha in our body and mind. And aggravated vata can lead to symptoms such as anxiety, restlessness, racing thoughts, difficulty to concentrate. What we described in the changes with the hormones and neurotransmitters. The cold weather can weaken the digestive fire. It makes less significant, which making it less efficient. Sorry. Poor digestion can lead to accumulation of toxins, and it can affect both physical and mental health. So you feel more mental fog, lethargy, and mood swings when you have digestive imbalances. So this is also very interesting thing. So you see many times these days when people come for consultations here, they feel many times tired after food, after eating. They feel like more sleepy or lethargic. So this is typical of poor digestive fire, and usually that cause them a fog, very much of fog, and which leads to lethargy, which makes you more moody. And yes, so digestion, improving digestion is a big step to avoid the mental fog. Yes, reduce sunlight, we already discussed. Um, Lifestyle factors we already discussed. So this is also affecting the kapha and vata in more in a kind of vata, yes, vata manner, vata increasing manner. Balancing vata dosha. So diet, you need to emphasize um, more. So this is very concise way I am explaining what can be done to adopt into seasonal changes. So I I myself have sometimes difficulties to limit my talks, and I uh, sometimes I don't finish everything. So because the fundamentals of doshas, or the fundamentals of Ayurveda, is bit too long. So to concise that is more difficult. So anyway, this is a concise form. So balance the vata dosha. It's more like emphasize more warm, nourishing foods such as soups, stews, cooked grains like rice, quinoa, etc., and rooted vegetables. It's more to in a kind of uh, symbolic way to say more grounding, more sweet potatoes, carrots, or beets, or whatever grows under the earth. More grounding for Vata dosha. Vata is up and down, like the wind is going up and down. This is more grounding. Spices, cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, cloves. So just an example. More or less every different spice is more conduct suitable for the winter time, except if it is too much. Yes, I mean, when we explain these things, it's not individualized advices. People change. That's why you need consultation. Yes. So there, uh, you need to you need to definitely specify who can take what. So maybe who are pitta predominant, who has acidity, they cannot take all the green chilies and stuff like this. But this is more or less like cinnamon, ginger more in a cooked form. It's fine. Cloves, this is also fine. So you could use. We will also have more list of herbs. Oh, sorry, spices. Hydration, well hydrated with warm drinks. It's more like even if you don't take teas and stuff, hot water is enough. So that is the most important. So cold things you avoid. Whatever teas or herbal teas stuff, those kind of things is also fine. To take routines, this is most important. I explained to you why we need routine, because it is because balancing the biorhythm or the clock. So the clock is getting disrupted because of the hormone, the neurotransmitters. We talked about sleep and the the things. So other way to do is maintain a routine. When the external cues like sunlight is as an external cue, or a kind of how you say, a kind of cue for you to wake up and sleep, you make your time routines, make your brain to understand by from the peripheral clocks, by putting the cues to the peripheral clock, by eating in time, sleep, going to bed in time, exercising in time. You give back the feedback to the central part, that is SCN, to maintain the balanced situation. So yes, this is like to and fro approach. I mean, the kind of balancing approach. So during the summer, this sunlight was helping us. This central clock was helping us. Now we need to maintain these peripheral clocks to work by maintaining, as I told, by eating, sleeping routines. Yes. Warmth and comfort. This is very important. Clothing, dress warmly, layers to protect. This is very basic, but of course you need to pay attention to your extremities, especially to keep warm. The circulation has to feel keep warm. Yes, warm oil massages. So this is very concise. Few words. Let's say sesame oil, like abhyangam. That is self oil massage or self oil application with warm sesame oil, or pure Ayurvedic blend of oils that can be also used for your daily shower, and you can use nourish the skin and calm the nervous system. This is more efficient than what people think. A good oil massage, or you would have experienced already, some simple oil massage will make you sleep way better, because the serotonin and the feel good hormones are secreted by the touch. Touch is very powerful. Then is sesame oil, or the oil, the benefits of oil. So the touch and the oil and the warmthness, these things makes you really improve your depressive stages. Heating practices, so you can use hot baths, or you can, this is the time you can also go to sauna and hot. Some people are there who goes to sauna at summertime, but Why they do this, I don't understand. Mindful movements, yoga, pranayama, exercises, any type of exercises. So different types of exercises, but not too intense when there is vata predominance, but more in kapha period when it is becoming frozen in the environment, more like a snowy. That time kapha predominance is there, then you can do more intensive exercises. But now is more like yoga, meditation, those kind of gentle, light indoor activities. Yes, pranayama is also very powerful. It reduces the stress and anxiety. Yeah, some people also, though we are speaking about depression, there are also cases of anxiety in because of this negative circle of negative thoughts, which happens to people. They they also get anxiety. So in very short, again, I'm elaborating this. There are repetitions, some of the repetitions, but I'm just elaborating from the concise way. People who has vata dominance, that whether it is vata constitution or vata imbalances, they need to use more warming and things we told, self massage, encouraging more grounding practices, herbal recommendations like ashwagandha to manage the stress. So ashwagandha we will little bit explain when if the time permits. I will stop at 5 7:50 or something. Vada diet, explain. It's more warm, nourishing, helping contracting the cold of cold, dry, and erratic qualities. Cooked grains, rooted vegetables. This is again repetition. Discourage the cold and dry food. Pitta dominance people, they have to manage. This is something specific. More balancing, cooling food, but it's not rather cooling, but still let's say more watery vegetable, pumpkins or zucchini or those kind of fluffy, cooling vegetables, and also some amount of seasonal fruits. They are also helpful. So meditation and deep breathing for people who has pitta related mm, type of reactions, people who are very agitated or they have more feeling more hot kind of characteristics, let's say anger, frustration, those kind of uh, um, characters are more related to pitta. So there you need to irritability, yes, you can say irritability. They need to take more brahmi. We will also discuss about brahmi. Here they need to eat more of soothing the heat and intensity you need to reduce. So intensity you need to reduce. Pitta people, that's a word. You are people who likes to do things more intense. So a little bit reduce your intensity and in the activities. Recommend incorporating the food for sweet fruits, leafy greens, and cooling herbs like mint, etc. So ginger is for vata. This is more pitta. Advice more bit spicy, less avoiding. Sorry, avoiding spicy, bit spicy. Let's say bitter spicy. I would say bit spicy, bitter spicy. More like what are bitter spicy is all the Western spices like um, your rosmarines, oregano, peppermint, those things are better ones, not the strong ones like chilies, cayenne peppers, or black pepper, or even dry ginger powder. They are really hot. Oily and hot food, I mean, too much heating food. Alcohol, I don't need to say. Kapha dominance people, those who have kapha, they need to take care about regular exercises, combating the lethargy, and weight management. They need to really emphasize. Recommend lighter, warming diet and with little bit more spicy food they can eat. So bitter spicy for pitta people, pungent spicy, more sharp spices like they can take chili if they like. Recommend activities that stimulates and invigorate the mind, stimulating a bit more stimulating activities. Herbal recommendations like triphala to support the digestion. So more here you need to improve uh, your digestive health and stasis. Um, um, we need to avoid the stasis in our digestive system. So we need to work to include something for digestion. That is Triphala. Triphala is like a um, bitter herbal combination. It's about three herbs combined together. Three phalas means three nuts combined. It's a very basic formulation. It's helpful for cleansing. Basically, it's a bowel cleanser, and it also has a lot of antioxidant properties. You remember when the digestion is better, you feel also good with the mood. Constipation, it is very good for constipation, for example. Don't take capsules, but rather powders. Explain the kapha balancing. So, yes, kapha balancing food, it's more warm, light, and stimulate you to counteract the heavy and damp quality. So, more lighter food. Legumes, cruciferous vegetables, pungent spices, like more sharp spices like black pepper. Encourage take avoiding dairy, fried food, too much sweets. This is definitely need to be avoided. So I stop for the time being, and if you have questions, if you have put, I will. mm, okay, I will. I will take it. You have written any questions in the chat? No, I don't find any questions in the chat. So then I will continue with few more explanations on the concise things which we discussed. So So ghee is one of the very good advice for Vata people. Cook the rice and oats. This is very helpful. Include rooted vegetables like sweet potatoes, carrots, beets. We already discussed. Enjoy more soups and stews. Again, cumin, corianders. They can also be used. Spices, ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, all these things are helpful. Even turmeric, anti-inflammatory properties helps. Ashwagandha to soothe the balance and also balance the vata. Vitamin D, yes, some amount of vitamin D is very essential. So even you take something supplemented, that is also good. Various yes, there are more foods from animal sources with more fat because it is fat soluble vitamin in from the form of natural way to get like from the food. They are here. Seafood, eggs, and butter, or oats, sweet potato. They also have avocado, mushrooms. So where there is more oily kind of characteristics. Another thing to incorporate is more like nuts, like almonds, walnuts, sesame seeds. They provide warmth and energy. Omega-3 fats, again, this is again healthy fats. That's what vata is, more dry in nature, so you include more fats to counteract. So whether it is from uh, vegetarian or non-vegetarian forms, healthy fats. So nuts and seeds are more from the vegetarian part, or avocado from non-vegetarian part, from okay, ghee also is animal product, but salmon or other seafood. Um, yeah, some general mood stabilizers you can use during this season. If you take it in the perspective of Ayurveda, it's not so ideal. Let's say dark chocolate to some extent. Magnesium helps, yes. Magnesium is also helpful to prevent these cramps and the cold type of reactions during this season. Also selenium. So this is present in various foods like garlic, especially garlic onion. They are cooked. When it is cooked, it is good um, to be used during Vata season. Um, Almonds, yes, cashew and peanuts are more Vata aggravating, we say. So almonds and walnuts are more ideal for this season. Uh, Milk products are not so best and not so good. I would not so much advise to take yogurt, kefir, or something. If you take it, is better during the lunch time because the agni or the digestive fire is on the top. So Brahmi and ashwagandha here, this is generalized form like brain tonics. They are. It promotes the tranquility. uh, I told already that more Vata people can take a bit more ashwagandha, or Kapha people also a bit more ashwagandha when there is sluggishness, lack of energy. But overreactive, over stimulating, ashwagandha is bit stimulative. So people who has Vata, overstimulated Vata situations, I don't know, it's not so suitable. Pitta people also ashwagandha, it's not so suitable. Brahmi is very safe to take more or less Pitta or Vata people. It is bitter herb and it is stabilizer. It helps to sleep better, more tranquilizing in nature. So St. John's wort, this is Hypericum. This is present. This is available in capsules, etc. So it also is helpful in reducing seasonal depression. Basil, so holy basil, that is Indian basil or even tulsi, it is called. You can use basil here, whatever basilica is available here as a spice. You can also use it in your as a culinary herb in your cooking. Lavender, we can use it more in aromatherapy and to make uh, relaxed bath or relaxed environment in your bed. It is very helpful, especially when you apply it in, for example, on the temples. You can just do a light massage circle in a circle. In a circle manner. Yes, so it is useful to relax. Mm, yeah, St. John's. We said chamomile. You are using a lot in tea form. It is very helpful with its tranquilizing properties. Saffron is very good. Yes, during winter season, saffron is a good spice to take. Mm, though it is cooling, it is stabilizing. It is good for improving digestion, appetite, and memory, sexual desire. It is general benefits. Triphala, you see, it is more for digestive health, but it helps you through antioxidant property, immune support, because the gut health is actually everything is benefited through the gut health. For example, even improvement of sleep happens because you go better with the toilet, or detoxification is better. You feel comfortable with the stomach, so the sleep also improves. um, yes, sunlight. Yes, how to cope up with some of the strategies to cope up with sunlight. One idea is to may buy these lamps. Many of these days people are using it already. They are full spectrum daylight lamps. They are using it. Now we have in our um, homes full spectrum lamps or the bulbs, which more mimic like natural light. Yes, if some of us we don't have, then we need to have these lamps. It helps really. You can take it more in your office. You can also maintain, you can buy these things from 20 euro to 100 euro. You can have a table lamp which is more mimicking this whole spectrum of daylight rays. Maintain a regular sleep routine and go support of this we discussed. Dietary things, practice management. So go for short outdoor walks. This is important word. This is important point. So whenever you find little bit more light, okay, sit in the office, but maybe face to the mirror. Open the mirror. Oh, sorry, the windows, and open. At least have a look to the sunlight always. And whenever you find there is no rain, or whenever you find it is more warm and you feel okay, you go for at least short walks outside when there is daylight. This makes difference. When there is daylight, you need to go. This makes the difference. Yes, there are people who go at night in the evening because they finish the work at after 6. So yes, it is But between, if you have a break, please do that. Yes. um, Sleep schedule, sleep environment. Yes, this is because many times there is sleep disturbances, so sleep hygiene is important. Limiting the screen is important. Avoiding coffee too much is not so good. Avoiding coffee is also to good extent is important. At least avoid the in the evening, afternoon and evening. You can take it during the daytime. I mean breakfast time, like after the breakfast once. Mm, After that, if you go, then it may disrupt the sleep. See, these all are interlinked. I told you. Once the sleep is disturbed because of any factors, then the other things also follows. It's a circle. And meal timing, maintain the meal timings, and don't eat 2 to 3 hours before sleep. Exercising, regular exercises. Yes, I explained you pranayama, yoga, and pranayama is also important. Mm, Ayurveda says it is essential to stimulate this. So, not Ayurveda, not only Ayurveda, as it is stimulating the Agni. Ayurveda says it is stimulating the Agni or the digestive fire. It is helpful for stimulating the neurotransmitters because you are producing neurotransmitters, serotonin and dopamine, when you go for exercises. So, uh, when there is a drop, you do exercise, you feel good. So some yoga poses, various types of stretches: camel, cobra, cow, cat, lotus, child pose, sitting on heels, spinal twist, shavasanas. So meditation, mindful meditation. Yes, various mindful meditation techniques are helpful. Yes. Mm. Mm, I will a bit touch on the daily regimen. This is like a schedule. It changes to person. I'm just making it in an order, at least 6 o'clock to wake up. So the time when the last phase of the day night is Vata phase. So you have better possibility to start moving. So before the kapha phase starts, you need to wake up. So around 6 o'clock or more early, little earlier is more better to wake up. And first thing is going to toilet, then brushing, then cleaning the tongue scraping, washing the face, gargling oil, sesame oil. You can do a gargling for 5 minutes. 6:30 approximate. These are all approximation exercises, light exercises, asanas like yoga, oil massage, then taking shower afterwards. Let's say half an hour to 1 hour after. If you do the or after oil application, if you wait for half an hour, it's better. 7:30, a bit of meditation before you start your day. It's helpful. 8 o'clock, breakfast. Warm breakfast is very important. Um, Between, if you want to have snacks, some fruits or dry fruits or nuts. Um, 12 to 1, lunch. That is the heaviest meal of the day. You can take more proteins or salads or grains. 3 o'clock is more like fruit time, like between the meals. 6 o'clock is pranayama or evening walk. So people who do too much intensive exercises, they can take more of around 6. You can do more exercises. So too much late after that, again, the more you go later, you have difficulty again to sleep, because again body temperature is high, you are more excited. The serotonin and dopamine, it's exciting hormones. So the neurotransmitters, it's opposite to melatonin. So you need to have that more during the daytime. So but at the same time, in the evening you can go for exercises, because you have better cardio capacity, more flexibility of the body, the possibility of blood vessels to expand. So body will tolerate more intense exercises towards the evening, but not too late as well. Now we see people going for running and exercising at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. This is not good. Light vegetarian or vegan dinner. 9 o'clock, self study or family interaction or socialization. Rather, you say socialization doesn't mean alcohol. You need to disconnect yourself and go to prepare yourself to go to sleep. Foot massage is good. Some amount of reflexology or sorry, the essential oils. These things can help. Meditation is very helpful. Um, yes, different points. Yes, you can put oils on, you say, this place on between your hands, between your palm, or here between your thumb and your index finger. Yes, uh, this and another one point to focus is basti marma. Let's say navel part. You can put some coconut oil or warm. It should be a little bit warm sesame oil or warm ghee even. Put it over the belly button. This is very relaxing for you. um, Temples, I told you, here you can put some essential oils. This is helpful to relax. um, mm, yes, so this is more than enough. Try these also with every place is not good to do essential oils to apply basically, but still in a low concentration it's fine. You could put um, some few 2 or 3 drops of essential oil into 1 spoon of sesame oil, so that it is balanced, and then you can apply, even if you apply to places, sensitive places. So this is also good um, coping up, sorry, balance for the essential oils. So now I will conclude. I would like to say thank you for participation, and thanks for your